Welcome back. In this video we give a combat mode to our character. What that means is that we want the character to be always facing away from us, so he won't be able to do something like this, like look directly into the camera, because we want him to face away. So if he has a weapon, then we can use the mouse to aim that weapon. So we're going to give him two modes of movement. The way to do that is to open up the blueprint and add his combat mode variable. We are also going to need some way to toggle this variable, so we're going to add some action mappings to enable and disable the combat mode. And I'm going to use the tab key to do this. Okay, so we go back into the blueprint and toggle, there it is, toggle combat mode. So basically if it's on, turn it off, and if it's off, then turn it back on. We also need to tell the AnimBlueprint about this variable, and basically the AnimBlueprint will have its own copy. So this is a new variable to designate combat mode, and one way to update that would be to just get it from the main blueprint on every frame. So just to show you how that can be done, we can just drag this out there, set, drag a new pin from the sequence node, and this node here, and what we can do is grab the character blueprint and then just check if it's in combat mode. And you have to make it publicly available in order to do that. So you also want to compile and save before moving on. So you get him here and is combat mode. So get is combat mode, and you can connect that. Now that's one way of doing it, but I want to use blueprint interfaces to do that. What this method does is it basically, well, first of all, it ties us to the character blueprint, and that's kind of okay because we're using a generic class anyway. But just to get into a better habit, I guess, we want to use a blueprint interface to do that. And using that method, basically this assignment is happening on every frame, once per frame. Using the interface method, we can do this once and basically save ourselves a lot of assignments on every frame. To create an interface, we can go to the main content browser, go into blueprints here, and then just create a blueprint interface. And let's call this combat mode interface. And we can add a new function called enable, or yeah, let's call it enable combat mode, and another one called disable combat mode. Compile and save that, close this. Then for the AnimBlueprint, you go into blueprint properties, and down here you add, and it'll be listed here, your interface name, the file you just named, combat mode interface, and then you can see it's listed here, combat mode interface, and then we don't need this anymore because we'll be doing it the other way. So to do that, you need to compile and save at this point, so the events from the interface will become available. So just right click and do enable combat mode, and we want the event, not the other one, not the call function. So you'll get a red node and disable combat mode, and then when we can just use our variable here to do this. Then compile and save that. Okay, so backend blueprint in character blueprints, my character, we need to send a message to the anim interface. Get anim instance and enable combat mode and disable combat mode. And that should work. Okay, so now we can add another state to the locomotion state machine. And we can go add state to combat idle walk run. And then it also goes back from there to there. Okay then, so we have our idle walk run, which is a Blendspace running in non-combat mode, and the speed variable is being updated from the event graph. So when we enter combat mode, this condition hits be combat mode and we end up here, and then when this is false, not be combat mode, we end up back into our regular idle walk run. And in the combat idle walk run, we're going to use a 2D Blendspace, so let's set that up next and close some of these windows. Just this, that, there, and compile and save. And probably want to clean this up a little. Okay, so we're not running this on the main execution pin, so this will only get one once, and we're not doing it every frame. So that is better in many ways, but now one thing I am not 100% on if the message sent from this main blueprint over here is asynchronous or not. I don't know that. Probably should check the documentation or ask Unreal for it. But if it's not, then it might not match the animations frame by frame. So if that happens, you're going to need to do it the other way. That's why I showed you. But I think this should work, and we shouldn't have any problems, even if it is asynchronous. Okay, so we were going to make a 2D Blendspace. Animations starter. Let's just make let's just make one here. And we want to use the Atom skeleton. And let's call this Combat Idle Walk Run Blendspace. Okay, and this will be a 2D Blendspace, and let's set this to direction, and that can be from minus 180 to 180, and the y-axis can be speed, and this character's normal walk speed is 600, so let's set the combat speed to 300, and then apply parameters. Okay, so when speed is 0 and direction is 0, this animation will be played whatever we put here. When direction is 180, we end up here when speed is 0. When speed is at maximum and direction is minus 180, we end up here. When the character is walking straight ahead, the direction will be 0, speed is maximum, and this animation will be played, and that's how this works. So let's put some animations in there. Idle, and we will use the iron sight animations that we have previously retargeted for this skeleton. Okay, so just drag idle iron sights down there, and this bottom row is just only the idle animation, so put one there and put another one there, and then we can use walk. Okay, walk forward iron sights copy, and that's the wrong place for it, misclicked. Okay, so just scroll down and delete walk forward rifle iron sights. You can update the animations from this list if you need to. So walk forward will be going here, walk to the left, walk to the right, and then walk backwards. And again over there. Okay, so now if you take a look at this character, you can see he's holding a weapon, and we can put the mesh in the next video. Put in a weapons mesh. For now, you can just see that he is able to walk straight ahead, and then he's able to strafe left and right, and he's able to walk backwards. Okay, so that's our 2D Blendspace. Close that, save all, save selected, and then we can add this to our anim graph. Anim graph, locomotion, idle walk run underscore the combat version, and it is going to have 2 pins in it. Okay, so the previous one had only speed, this one has 2 of them. So promote this to a variable. Let's call this direction, and we already have speed, so speed, just drag speed from here to there and compile. To set direction, go back to the event graph and Well, we can just drag another pin from here, and we do calculate direction, and target is the anim instance, so speed, we already have speed. Oh, it requires velocity, so we have that too. And we need the base rotation, so how do we get the base rotation? Character BP, get actor rotation, and that should work. And direction, should be set like that. Oh, I'm just going to ignore that, and we're going to call it set direction for idle walk run combat version. And this is bothering me, so I'm going to find out how to get rid of it. There we go. Delete, and there we are. And now we just compile, save, and see if any of this actually works. Play and tab, and nothing happens. No, it's working. Okay, there you go. And okay, we didn't fix the camera yet, but you can see that at least the combat toggle is working. So let's see how we can fix the camera now. Cancel that. So go back into the blueprint, and wrong blueprint again. This is in Blueprints, my character. Okay, if you go into components, you'll have this character movement component in your blueprint. So just scroll down and you'll see this option for orient rotation to movement. Okay, so in combat mode we want to turn this off. So go back here, toggle combat mode, and we can just extend this. So show inherited variables, character movement, drag that out, get set orient rotation to movement. Okay, so are you in combat mode? No, set it on, and then this execution pane, this will be off and this will be on. So this is non-combat mode, and this is combat mode. And let's see what this gives us. Compile, save. Okay, so I've made a small mistake, so we're going to fix that. Go into the blueprint, and if you are in combat mode and it's not on, then turn it on, and you have to send a message to enable combat mode. So these nodes got mixed up. So put this down there and this up there, and this goes there, And now we can see if this works or not. Move about and combat mode, and there we go. Okay, we still have to fix the camera so the character is always facing forward, but you can see that the character is able to strafe now. He's no longer turning around. Okay, and we will fix the camera so if it goes out of range and the weapon is not being aimed at whatever target our cursor is on, then we will rotate the character. But that's for another video. Okay, so in the next video we will add a weapon mesh and an aim offset to enable aiming that weapon. So that's it for this time, and see you later.